Whoa! Hello everyone! I see that now we are bigger than ever before, at least bigger than in 2020. That's good news. So my name is Kirill. I'm leading the international marketing team here in KLOUDIP, and I'll be hosting this event for you. This is Binu.
Hello.
Yeah, you may know her from our educational and training videos from KLOUDIP Cloud Portal. So she was guiding you through all our solutions throughout this year, and now she will help me guiding you throughout this event. So today, what will be happening today, we'll be talking about telematics and IoT and why we are here. And we wouldn't be here without this immense drive and passion of KLOUDIP's team and leadership for years. And we are here now, and like a few years ago, this mission that we are on seemed impossible. So on behalf of all my colleagues here in Shangri-La Colombo, we are welcoming here on stage Mr. Sanjeeva Kure, the CEO of KLOUDIP. Let's give him a round of applause.
Hello everyone. Today we are having some excellent solutions to present to you. First we want to show you like why we do this, why KLOUDIP exists, why telematics, and why does it matter. This is to accelerate the transition to the use of technology in business. How did KLOUDIP connected 15,000 units in Sri Lanka over the last 12 years, and how KLOUDIP became top 10 companies in South Asia Pacific, and by the number of connected units, and how KLOUDIP became top 100 in the world by the number of connected units. That's because we provided solutions that fulfills the requirements of customers. So we didn't make something that we want and introduce to customers, but we made solutions that what you have been asking us over the last years. And I know everyone knows this interface. This is FIOS. This is very popular. This is used by, I think, every one of you. And this solution is very extensive, that it has grown over the last 12 years, and it keeps growing into a lot of applications now. I think you may be using it already. Otherwise, we do have like, and this keeps growing, like staff transport, vehicle maintenance, personal tracking, and distribution, and so many new applications are coming, running on top of this fleet management interface. So basically, this is a focused fleet management platform for us, which keep growing in the direction of fleet management. All our solutions are never a cost to you. We always, when you spend on our solution, like you will be saving 10 times more. So it will never be a cost to you, and we make sure that you will save at least 10 times of what you spend on our solution. And but this industry has grown, but what we feel is not the market. So we need to break the ice. So we need to get together to break the ice, and what we make to use and make a benefit for your business is what we need to do. So in 2023, we have planned, and we already have, which we are launching, and also through the year we are going to develop solutions that is going to save costs, more features, improve your businesses, and improve efficiency. Thank you.
Just give us a second, because your voice is too good not to be in the hole. Yeah, try it.
Yes.
Yeah.
There we go.
We hear the voice.
Okay, so today we are here to talk about 3 products that have become essential in our businesses. That's Hazer, Gopher, and ePort. We have now developed telematic solutions to cover 360 of businesses. Gopher covers passenger transportation, ePort covers cargo, Hazer covers everything else. These solutions bring everything our customers has been asking us for the past years. I would like to welcome to stage Yasinta Vitanage, Chief Technology Officer of CloudIP.
Thank you, Tanishka. I think my mic is working, right?
Yeah, oops. So Hazer is our new solution, but before that I want to tell a small story. In maybe 30, 40, probably 70 years ago, there was no Hazer, so people in mines, this was the main requirement, that there were gases that will probably, before they detect this gadget, that you put this bird into this gadget and then they keep it in the mine so that this bird detects if there is any gas and before the people, and then they can get out of it and save their lives. So this bird, this gadget is Hazer today. So we decided that we'll call it, this bird's name is a canary called Haze. So we named the product Hazer because the future of this gadget is Hazer, which can do a lot of various sensors and application monitoring.
So Haze is designed to monitor hundreds of different sensors. It could be simple sensor like humidity or temperature, or it could be some complex machinery in your production line. So Haze can bring all this information onto one interface from different sources, from devices or from other platforms, and users can visualize them in web applications or native mobile applications.
Hazer comes in actually once we developed Hazer, it can do anything. So when it is anything, it's so broad. So when you apply to customer, it's not very customer friendly because it's too broad. So then we came up with another version of it called Hazer specific, which you can monitor your water tank, single application. So it is like a purpose-built application for anything that, one thing that you want to monitor, like your energy monitoring, your water tank monitoring, your fuel tank monitoring. So one application. So once these single applications that you may have put together, it becomes Hazer Premium. So Hazer is available as a single application, or it is available as a multiple device monitoring application.
Right. So let's look at some key highlights. So we have the dashboards. Dashboards are mainly to monitor the information from various sensors or the equipment, like humidity, temperature, or diesel generators, or it could be some like machine which monitors production of a sand mine. So the widgets can be customized with predefined thresholds to identify different conditions. So it will change its colors to different color based on the received information from an equipment or from a specific sensor. So it will make it easier for the operators to understand on the monitoring panel, either on web or mobile, whether it's in right condition, or if it if it has some problem, it will change the color, so they can immediately pay attention to this particular section of the warehouse or the production machinery. So then these are closer look. So you can see we have red one, probably it's out of the range, and then we have a door, it's closed, so it's green, so something like this. And we have the insights board. So this is a really nice feature. So this actually to monitor performance of your production line, or to understand how your temperature is behaving in your warehouse, or your freezer containers. So it could be actually used to monitor the fleet telematics to monitor the driving behavior or the mileage statistics. So the beauty here is the data, the dashboard, the widgets you can design on your own. So you just need to decide what information is critical for your business, and you can create the widgets to visualize this information on Insights board. So you don't have to really run reports. It actually updates real time, and you get to see this information either on mobile or on web application. So this is a closer look. So you can see this is for an example of water dispensers for last 12 hours, and then daily mileage of a vehicle, and the water fillings, and then stats for last 5 days for a vehicle. You get the kilometers and the fuel. So this can be customized to monitor different applications as per your requirement. And then we have the alerts and notifications. So here's the monitors all the parameters from different sensors or the machine, so it could be a vehicle even. So then you can send notifications to identify anomalies, and then it can send notifications to relevant people who are responsible to take care of this facility or the asset, to notify them via email, SMS, or the push notification. And we also have the integration with Telegram, so you can send it to Telegram application as well. And then we have real-time charts. So this is important for the engineers or the technical teams to monitor the equipment, how it's behaving, and you get to see all this information real-time as it's received from the sensor to the platform. So the engineers can monitor this and then identify if there had been a problem, or if it's the pattern is could create some problem. So they can act on this immediately in advance to reduce downtime of the production machinery or a generator, some appliance that they are monitoring. So let's look at some use cases. So this particular use case from South America, and we worked with a partner from Germany and South America to design this solution. So this particular city in South America, the households do not have the regular water supply from the government, so they need to buy it from a private a supplier who would bring water in tanks, and then they refill to the household tanks. So it's important for the house owners to know how much water in the tank, and then before it becomes too low, they need to call the supplier and order. Otherwise, it will disrupt their daily life. So the challenge was, this particular country, as you understand from that, they don't have regular water supply. They have they wanted something very economical and robust. So what our partner did was, they did not want to rely on GSM providers because it's going to add more cost to the subscribers. So they decided to go with LoRaWAN. So this is a nice technology. So they installed 2 gateways on 80-meter towers in the city, and they could cover about 15 kilometers of the city. This is what you see in the map below. And then they installed the water level sensors in the tanks, and these LoRaWAN sensors can go up to about 10-15 years, so you don't have to attend to replacing the battery or maintenance work, so it brings down the running costs. So then it gives the water supply company the view of all their subscribers, and they can see who has water and then who should be, which tank should be refilled. So when they get a notification, they can go and refill, and also the house owners get a notification when the water level is too low, so they can call the supplier and all the tanks. So this really nice solution, I really like it. And so this is some statistics from these guys. So actually these guys can analyze this data and then look at the behavior of the water consumption of the city in large scale.
This is a temperature, the pharmaceutical temperature monitoring, a well-known company in Sri Lanka. We have installed sensors in their storage in shelf level. So all these shelf level, we know, like Hazel will show the different temperatures of each shelf, because different medicines require different levels of temperature. So we set thresholds, like if this icon will get red if it is out of range, and within the range it will be green, and you can put several colors based on the, so that as you look at it, you can see all the storage and where the what's the temperature is. So everything that you see in red are like out of range. So here, like you can see, most of the sensors are out of range. So this is some top management has to know. So this is a good condition that everybody should use and know and get alerted. And also this can give the company can see all shelves, but you can easily share to their customers only their shelves. So they can just monitor their shelves and see, even customer can see if the company is maintaining their temperature levels properly the way they want. So that, and also they can get a history of this to see how it has been performing over time. So, so this solution really provides the real-time and historical data to manage the situation.
So our next use case from Europe, to be more specific, it's from Denmark. So this company is a electrical equipment supplier to large events like musical events or like sports events and so on. So they have about 100 generators across Denmark, and each generator should be monitored closely to reduce the maintenance of the generator to reduce the possible downtimes and so on, and also to see the location of these generators. So this customer actually contacted us because in Denmark they're shutting down 3G and 2G networks, so their existing platform cannot be upgraded. So when they contacted us, they already had bought the IoT devices. So luckily HASA supports almost any telematics device, and we within about 2 days we managed to connect all these devices with a new script, each generator would send about 50 different parameters. As you can see, it can send fuel level, and then external, they have external fuel tank if it's too large, about 1,000 liters, and the oil pressure, apparent power, the voltage of each line, and the frequency, the location, the hour meter, and battery, and so on. So it's about altogether about 5,000 different parameters from 100 different generators, and also it can send different fault codes. So we had to set up, we had to detect all these fault codes, and then if a generator triggers one of these fault codes, we need to immediately send it to the person who's responsible to look at this problem and fix it. So this notification are sent to the engineering department, and then they know what the fault is, so they can immediately, before it becomes a big problem, they can immediately go with the right equipment and fix this problem. And also they need to monitor they needed to service the generators before it overdues, so they monitor the number of running hours and also the number of days, frequency of the days that it should be serviced. So whenever it's approaching the next service based on engine hours, so based on the days, it would send a reminder to the particular engineer who's responsible to monitor this particular generator, and he can dispatch his team to, he can find the location, and then he can dispatch his team to monitor this. And also they use the geofencing to make sure that generators they have fixed are not moving. As well as they monitor the fuel, so if that's full-fledged, and also they monitor the consumption. So based on this, they charge their customers, and also they need to find if there was any theft or something, so they can investigate on this. So this is what it looks like. So, and the other requirement was when these generators are rented out, they have to give a login to the customer, their customer. So when their customer rented this generator, they can share only the required generators with the read-only view. So the external party won't be able to make any changes, so edit these the parameters that the generator owners have set, but they can monitor these sensors, and once it's the renting period is over, they can simply unshare and disable the user.
21.
It's,
And now you must be thinking that Hazer is for like huge projects and big companies. No, it's not actually. Hazer is, this is how this is at home, how I monitor my water level in my water tank. This keeps a track of my water level and its temperature, and I can see it on my mobile app, and it says how the water was used and how water got filled over the week, last 7 days. And also with Hazer, I monitor my vehicle, and so I know where my car is and where my driver is at the right time, and then I don't have to call him because I know exactly what time he's going to come, because it's so easy to and handy to see on phone, and it will give alerts when it reach home. It will just give me a little click that I know now car has got home, so I can go out and go get in. So
I hope you are paying the subscription on time. I need to check it.
thank you for reminding.
Yeah, thank you very much. Actually, you have seen everything. The product was so great that even this clicker in their hands wanted to show you the slides twice, thrice, and everything. So you've seen the presentation for like about 5 times, I think, right? So it's totally market-driven, and I think it will be a great business tool for any business. For example, like yours, and yours. Yes, find us after the event. We'll give you a free trial. That's good. Now let's proceed. The bad thing is that I felt a bit tired and I wanted to go home from this event and not to proceed, and I just requested Uber, and I'm still waiting, and that is a problem. So do you imagine Uber that you don't have to wait for, that is tailored to your company's vehicle fleet and your business needs? Actually, this thing already exists, and it's called Gopher. Let's see what Gopher has to offer. That's my favorite. With Jacinta Vitanege and Sanjeeva Kure again. Let's give them a round of applause, because that's a really great solution.
So what's Gopher versus fleet management? So fleet manage, the usual GPS tracking, what it does is it tracks all your whereabouts of your vehicles, let it be rented or your own vehicles. So but what if your company wants to pay only for your business mileage and exclude all the other trips? So this is challenging when you have rented vehicles from different suppliers. So what Hazer does is when you make a request, it monitors this particular trip, and then it extracts the mileage from GPS tracking, which is relevant to your business. So you don't have to spend time on manually finding out what was the business, what was the driver's own trips and other personal things. It automatically extracts this information by Gopher.
Gopher can monitor like various types of, like your companies might have like on-demand, recurring, single-point trips, multi-point trips, round trips, whatever, all types of corporate requirements like that your passengers, your staff will want to use the vehicles for, company vehicles for, we have it here in this platform that can manage. And how this works is like it has 4 roles mainly. It starts with the passenger, like the staff requests vehicle on, and then it goes to the line manager, immediate line manager, and the manager will have to approve. And once he approves, it goes to a dispatcher. The dispatcher will look for a suitable vehicle approved by the manager, and then he will assign it to a driver, and then driver get an alert, and driver will then, whatever the future date or current date, he will go and pick up the staff and drop to the current, or it will go in the direction that multi-point recurring round trip or whatever that they may need to attend according to the dispatcher's allocation. So all these application for all the roles, like all 4 roles that I mentioned, you get the mobile app as well as the web interface. So you can do it from the, so like a passenger, mostly it's mobile app. Manager approvals can be given on mobile app or web interface. So it's very flexible to use either, and you have a user account, you can go from your computer or you can go from your mobile.
So when a request or the dispatcher make a request, Gopher's routine optimization will find the best route to reach each pickup or drop points, and it creates a route. So this will be passed to the driver, and then he would know what the best path to reach his points during the trip, and it will be beneficial as it will be taking the shortest or the fastest route. So this is an example of a multi-point trips. So you can see the passenger can make different, at different points on the map, and then it will calculate the distance to reach each of these points, and then it will give you the predictor's distance and predictor's price for this particular, what it's going to cost. So, and then after that he can save and send it to the manager. So this is an example for recurring rides. So you can set up, you have ad hoc or on demand, and then you have the routine shuttles. So for routine shuttle, what you have to do is you just need to set the reach time for each point, and then Hazer will calculate the route, and then this will be saved. So every time this has to occur, it will send a push notification to the driver. So driver can accept and then complete this trip. So Gopher will extract the mileage for this particular trip, and then it will be saved in reports. So end of the month, you just need to download this and then upload your payment system to see how much you have to pay to the driver.
And this is, you can set budgets depending on your organization budgets, departmental budgets, or vehicle usage. You can set budgets for in multi-level budgets. And when budgets are allocated for departments, they can work within that budget. And when the budget exceeds, you can't see the map, and that department will no longer be able to put use any vehicles until the department head will get the permission from probably branch head and give a allocation, or swap some extra budget from another department and give them budget. They will not be able to use vehicles. And this is how everything put together. You can see based on your user role, they have their view. You can see, like the management can see how many vehicles are used during this period, how much you have to pay for the drivers, how much, which passenger use most number of vehicles, how many kilometers they have driven, and you can pay the drivers anytime you want without having to like calculate it later. So this tool will be like, you don't have to go end of the month and make a payment. You can make the payment at any time.
Okay. Actually, we are having another issue with the microphone. Are you okay now? Just
See?
comes and goes.
Yeah.
Try closer to your mouth.
Okay.
Oh, that's good.
So Gopher won IoT Project of the Year Global Award for Public Transport nominations in October 2022 for the project implementation at Brandix. Soon our partners will present more on this, and you will know it's not impossible to make the shift. Next major requirement for businesses is to manage their cargo transport cost-effectively, timely, and efficiently, fully on the system without having to call everyone. Sanjeeva, so what is our solution for this?
ePort. This is the solution. This caters for third-party logistics, distribution, retail, delivery together in one platform. You don't get any platform in the world like it's, you have to get different applications, you have different platforms. But we have a solution that caters for all types of logistics requirement in a single platform. And also it takes all stakeholders in the delivery network, like in a real life environment. So it's basically developed for this product is developed for the industry, not like any other software that is developed for a company use. This is developed for the industry use, so it can collaborate.
So ePort not only powered by complex algorithm to optimize routes, in near future we'll have AI to drive this data and then give you more information that will help to improve your productivity.
So basically it collaborates cargo owners, fleet owners, 3PL operators, and hybrid users that use multiple methods of using. So all parties collaborate together. That's why we call it an ecosystem over a platform. So basically delivery management. Basically this platform has the order entry which can be given to a customer, or something like a 3PL company can do it for the customer. So customer can directly enter the order as well. So here we have the order details. You can have billing contract management, time requested by customer, flexible or rigid, fixed, and you can have cutoff time, delivery and pickup times, and also we have added cargo, and with the capability to do last mile delivery, because every cargo pack it's added, it will keep a track of QR code, and that for delivery management, and also it keeps the capacity. So we use the vehicle capacity, and we can do capacity planning and optimize the vehicle. So once the order is entered, you can add any number of locations, from pickup point, in between drop points, and delivery point, final delivery point. And the moment you add the points, it will automatically calculate the cost and the kilometers with the best route, and it will give you an idea how much it's going to cost you for this shipment. So customer will already know how much it will cost, and then also he can see what is the best route that the system assigned, which is the most economical route. And then after you enter this and submit it from the logistics company, the customer, you can, the 3PL company or the operator can see these orders from various customers. So they can, if they have created routes, they have their standard routes, this system will automatically pick these orders and put it into routes and allow you to just straight away create trips. And if you don't want to do that, it also gives a all option where you can do the way you like. Otherwise, it will automatically sort the orders and put it into trips, and then you can create trips. And once you create the trip, you have an option to change the delivery sequence, and you can select the operator, and once you select the operator, like the fleet owner, you will see that fleet owner's vehicles. And then fleet owner can have a contract where how much you pay, and you can also see the cost on the left, shipment capacity, cost, and then you can select the vehicle, because we also give the vehicle type, that is suitable vehicle types. Like it gives on top left 20 footer, 40 footer, because this is smaller than 20, this is good for 20 footer, so it can go in a 40 footer, so it can go in any of the vehicles.
So here you can see how much your trip is going to cost, and then you can change the sequence and then see how ePort will optimize the route to deliver these orders. And this is how it look like. So you can see the sequence, and then you can see the route to reach these points, and then this can be pushed to the driver, so driver will know what path to take. So in next version, in very near future, we will have options to see the fastest routes, most economical, and also if you are to deliver something very fragile and you are concerned about the safety of these goods, so you can mark these routes to, you can select this option to take the safest road to deliver these goods.
And also, one thing that is a lot of customers are asking us this almost daily, like they are trying to use FIOS and try to share vehicles to their customers to see, because they don't want to show the whole fleet, they want to see some vehicles that is used for logistics, because that is not the application for that, this is the application for that. So this has a very easy way that you can see a drop down and you can select 2 vehicles and give access to X customer. You can select another 5 vehicles and give access to, so this customer can only see these vehicles that you have given access, and you can change access. And also, if it becomes faulty, or if vehicle has some problem or license expired or something like that, it goes out of the visibility, because it cannot be used if it is not fit to use. So that all that can be controlled, and what is fit to use is you can decide, like to set the thresholds when you register the vehicle. And then also location is a key part. So finding locations and marking the locations is a very difficult part for you to get your showrooms and the places. So here, like we have given another place to mark the location in multiple ways. Either you can drop a pin, or you can search on the top bar, or there are several ways to you can find the location and your marked locations, and these locations can be added to the contacts. So every contact will have a location as well.
So in ePort we can have two different contacts types. So one could be system user contacts, and then contacts which are not part of the system, but they need to receive notifications. So and each of these contacts can be controlled and set what notification a particular contact should receive. So you won't, if you have doing a lot of orders, you will not be flooded with a lot of unnecessary messages, but you can say, if you are a store manager, you can just see arrival time to pick or to deliver. So you can just tick this box and you will get only this notification. But if you want to monitor notification, you can select all, so you will receive these notifications as per your preferences. So it's very flexible per user, and they can select what they like to receive.
Yes, so this is the contact screen actually, the notifications.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Oh, finally. Okay, ask this guy if the sound will be there, and it was not. You know where it never happens? In Cloud IP support. Just, you've seen 3 of our solutions, and like we have 20 more, and all of them work stably throughout the month for 15,000 units. You'll say it's magic. I'll say it's Cloud IP support. You say these are synonyms. I say yes. So all these solutions are covered by a very strong support by Cloud IP. Excuse me, can you click, Sanjeeva? Yeah, thank you very much. Oh, that's almost here. Not, yeah. Yeah, oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I know how to use this. Here's the support structure for Cloud IP. As you see, every your request goes a very long way for less than an hour or so. But, you know, there are some people who also hate talking to other people. I'm one of them because now I'm suffering. So for such people, we created this. These are like self-support videos that answer the most frequently asked questions that you have ever had for like 15 years of Cloud IP's operation. It's all there, and it's created by Tanishka, actually. You can give her a round of applause for that, and visit cloudip.com or .lk websites and watch all of them. It's like, you know, Avatar, but better, and it will help in your business. So what I want to say, some people are like calling, some people are even complaining, like the clients are complaining to each other, but it doesn't solve the problem. Problem solving is when your request comes through the right channel. Oh, here it is. The right channel. This is the right channel, but for smiles. We also collect them, by the way. You can send us your smiles. Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is like all your requests, and we monitor them every time. And when the time for one of the requests, for example, here, is exceeded, then the management, like Jacinta and Sanjeeva, are automatically alerted. And then they gently come to the support team and gently ask them for that thing to never happen again. And this is how it happens. So, if you like our support, rate us with this smile, which is green, and let's proceed to other presentations right now. So, what we have today? What we have today is Alex's presentation, right?
Working now. Is it working?
Yeah,
okay.
great.
So why should we take the initiative to use available technology? We have Alexander Smirnov here to bring valuable insights into what's coming in the telematics industry.
Yeah, give him a round of applause. This guy made like 4,000 kilometers to here.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Kirill. First of all, it's a great pleasure to be here in Sri Lanka, my first time. I actually thought it will be warmer. Here it's a bit cold, so I think hazer would be a good solution for cold monitoring here in this hall. And it's great to hear all these interesting developments that have been done by my colleagues at KLOUDIP. So now I'll speak a little bit about what I had. Yeah, a little bit about myself. I've been in telematics for more than 10 years with one of the major providers of telematics and IoT, and also within this time we managed with the team to become office #1 in the growth of the units, amounting to 140,000 units currently. I'm based in Dubai, UAE, so I came here from this wonderful country, and I'm operating with 2 high-tech startups with a number of companies that are our clients. And this being said, again, a lot of trends are being set in the UAE because it picks up what is the most important. And before we speak about the trends for 2023, we need to focus on the things that are actually the challenges. And the challenges in these recent years or something that is connected with unpredictability. The world is changing really in an unpredictable way. First of all, it's political instability that caused a lot of economical changes. We see how different policies are being shaped by the fact that the food supply might be problematic. Pandemic was also unexpected, coming from other parts of the world, but also it reshaped how we are doing business when most of the planet was locked in homes and had to reinvent the way all the processes basically will be happening at work or in terms of purchasing capabilities. And then also the world at that time was not really prepared as most of the things went to the digital world. However, the chips were not in great supply, so this created some more shortages to the new digitalized economy. And so the idea of safety is becoming the most obvious response to that. And the business would address it in a certain way by adjusting, obviously. So here are the things that are important. So in order to be safe in this environment, one needs to think in advance. So there should be stock that is there in advance. In terms of the business, now since the e-commerce became so widespread, customers are getting used to the service that should be superb, and they're not expecting anything less. And of course, in order to increase the possibilities in terms of the customer support, you need to be very careful with numbers. So the bottom line becomes more important than ever. And behind all of this is obviously the knowledge. And we know that some time ago, or 3 years ago, there was a saying that data is new oil in the 21st century. Today, in 2023, data is bread and butter. It's actually what we come to from the very bottom. The most important thing becomes data. And data obviously is involved in the technological process. Here is what we have today. We have IoT on the one hand that's collecting all these data points and creating the data sets that then must be somehow processed. And the solution for this is artificial intelligence. It's basically the same level of intelligence that we have. We get the information through our sensory experiences, eyes, ears, and so on. So big amounts of data are inputting into the artificial intelligence that is basically trying to help make sense of that and take decisions. And through this trinity, we're coming to safety, time efficiency, and the bottom line, which actually become the major drivers. And this way, the data and the IoT are actually helping to answer the question. So why implement IoT and telematics for your business? And the answer here is obvious. I just use here very well-known things, the computer, the phone, and the internet. And so those were the representations of the internet, the phone, mobile phone, and the computers that were shown this way when they only appeared. And the question was in everyone's minds, why? Is this some kind of funny thing, or is it going to be used? So today we have no doubt that this is necessary. So the same way we will be thinking about IoT and artificial intelligence in the near future, and the environment and the situation is pushing us towards that. But let's look at more practical things, how IoT and data will help your business. So, okay. First of all, obviously, looking at the bottom line, IoT will help you improve the situation with your costs. And in this case, you will have total visibility of what's going on. You will understand the behavior of your clients and better predict your planning cycles. For example, the solutions that are developed by KLOUDIP are helping to do that in, for example, Gopher that we're speaking about, which is a car pooling application, helps you to reduce the number of your fleet, number of the vehicles in the fleet, which is, again, reduces costs. I'm sorry, the clicker does not want to, probably froze as well. Oops, okay. Sorry. Okay, so the next thing again is, it's before that. The next thing is that in this situation, the governments try to come up with different policies, and there is this ESG scoring. It's about the ecology, the economy, society, and the governance that put such priorities as reduction of the CO2. And so these things are obviously related to fuel management, and this is another way where knowledge about how the fuel is being used, for example, will give you a better competitive advantage. And the next thing that IoT obviously is helping with is the customer satisfaction, which comes with, again, big number of data points. This way? Okay. Yep, thank you, Kirill. Which gives a big number of data points and obviously, again, helps to understand the user's behavior. And increasing the efficiency. When you can identify the leak or the problem with certain shortage in a certain area of warehouse, you will be able to address this in a faster way and then thus become more competitive in the market. So all these things, they somehow predetermine the trends that are there in IoT in 2023. So basically, the data-based decision-making is number one trend, which is related to the understanding of the situation in your warehouse or in different locations with the fleet that you are operating. And the companies in Dubai, for example, DEWA, which is Dubai Electricity and Water Authority, has a platform that basically collects all the data and helps manage user experience and understand how to address issues in a fast way. Mobility sharing, again, the idea of having two expensive fleets does not make sense. Also, if the fleet is not being used at all, it also comes at a cost to you. So in order to reduce that, a lot of companies are now transforming their application of the fleet management towards shared mobility. And we have a solution that is provided by KLOUDIP that is exactly working in this direction. Obviously, because of the problems with the shortages and the growth of the e-commerce, logistics and delivery solutions are in demand. And 5PL logistics, last mile logistics, which is delivery to the end user, are becoming of increasing importance. The last mile delivery costs, for example, comprise 53% of the total shipping costs. And in order to reduce that, efficiency is required. That's why the solutions like this one will come into play this year. Fourth one is the growth of the importance of the video telematics, because it helps with the reduction of accidents and working on the insurance costs. Video provides the proof of what happened and at what time it happened, and tries and shows the way how things can be avoided in future. So video telematics in Dubai, for example, Dubai Taxi Corporation is embedding that for several years now, but now it becomes more of a useful tool. And the last that I would like to address is the healthcare IoT solutions. This one is, again, related to the unpredictability factor of the pandemics that the whole world was not prepared for. Healthcare was under great pressure, but it managed because it had a lot of devices and equipment that use sensors. So these 5 trends are something that we're looking for in terms of the telematics and IoT. And now addressing the question why implementing telematics for your business, the answer becomes very clear. Because first of all, the big companies that are producing various solutions, technological solutions that can be implemented but not always are implemented because of the local specifics. And that's why a lot of businesses prefer to use old school styles, put something on paper, rather than come up with implementation of a technological solution. And the team of KLOUDIP is actually helping to address this issue. Now, by using these technological solutions that are of the global standard, you will be able to actually bring your business in line with what is required in the world, and you will be able to actually improve your KPIs in similar way. And that's where the power of KLOUDIP solutions will definitely help you. So that's all from my side. Thank you once again. I would be glad to discuss with you any questions further as we proceed. Thank you.
Yeah, this is actually the unique stuff. If you have any question, like raise your hand and you can ask the expert, because he's still wearing a microphone and we still have time. If you don't, find him after the presentations. Okay? Because I see no hands, unfortunately. Oh, okay. They'll find you, Alex. They will find you.
Great. Thank you.
Okay. So what I found out from the presentation is that KLOUDIP follows the trends, and the good news is that we all travel together. So expert first, but let's now listen to the real users. The next company, the representatives of the next company that will come to the stage is one of the leading garment manufacturers globally and one of the largest contributors to the GDP of Sri Lanka. So it's Brandix, you all know this company, and let's welcome here on stage Chandana Liyanage, who is the head of DGM Group, head of transportation. Let it be like super precise. Yeah, let's give him a round of applause. And
thank you.
Yeah, I just want to tell one thing. You all know him, and if you want people like your colleagues or anyone who is like not visiting the conference today, but who is willing to watch at one of the best presentations of the evening, join our live stream on Facebook. If they have Facebook or you have Facebook, log in there, find KLOUDIP group or like business page, and follow the live stream that we have there. It's all for you and for them. And now you have the whole country listening to you. That's super great.
Thank you, Kirill. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Again, let's give him a round of applause.
Right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. First, you all have listened to so many IT solutions, bombarded with a lot of information. I'm here not to discuss any data, I would say. I'm here to discuss one of the success story of transport management in Sri Lanka. So before that, let me begin with a small question. I mean, I'm going to ask a question. That question will have only one answer, right? So a very simple question, one answer. Why do we all gather here today? Why do we all gather here today? A simple answer, because we have something in common. We have something in common. What is that something? It is the telematics. It is the telematics. So team, today I'm here to discuss how Brandix is evolved with telematics, or how Brandix digitalize its fleet transport management into today's context. And as you all know, Brandix is a company where we have over 30,000 people traveling or commute on daily basis, and we have over 1,000 plus vehicles, fairly a large fleet, and we have invest on people transport about 2.5 billion rupees. And team, I actually wanted to give a round of applause to my colleagues. Some of them are here today. Please give them a good round of applause. They are the people who are running this show behind at the 19 plants in Sri Lanka right now. So team, thank you very much.
I was looking for you everywhere.
Sorry. Yeah. So the other important thing is that we as leaders, what we need to understand, whether do we need to have digitalization programs. Now, companies like us, fairly a large company, apparel manufacturing company, and we need to have our data very visible, and we are basically looking at real-time data, especially when you are managing a fleet of over 1,000 vehicles. You need to have a very, very clear understanding about the data. So team, therefore, we actually looked at the initial options in Sri Lanka. And we need to look at this bigger picture, that is the company dream or the company goal. And we have to align with that. So what we did was, we looked at our company goal, the bigger picture, and we try to realign the transport strategy into that. Right. So, aligning transport strategy is not a simple thing. So, we wanted to look at how the finances are working. So, we looked at small incremental steps. We didn't go for solutions immediately. We looked for very step-by-step approach. So that is why I wanted to tell you guys, we dream big, but we try to connect the dots together. We have connected few dots. I'm going to explain what are the dots that we have connected in terms of digitalization in Brandix transportation. Right. So, I'm sure in this house today, most of you guys are really ready for this challenge, or if not, at least you are thinking of, doing some digitalization project. So, for us at Brandix, we have initiated the number one dot that we try to connect is the FIOS, that is the GPS tracking system. When we started this in 7 years ago, we actually got involved with another company, which actually we were not being able to proceed with due to some difficulties, technical problems. So therefore, we got hold of KLOUDIP, and then we proceed. When we start looking at the GPS tracker on the map or the dashboard, we have seen some of the vehicles were supposed to run in the factory or be in the factory was in somewhere else. You see? So you get the visibility. When you have the visibility, definitely you are going to save unwanted money, or you are going to save some money for the company or the bottom line. We started with that, and then we went to, when you look at the total picture, we saw some of the routes we can merge. Some of the transport we can merge through logistics platform, that we were able to do that as well. That saved us so many million kilometers, so many million kilometers. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm very proud that with my team, we were able to make the change. Then, another important aspect is that we were managed to get this transport management system dashboard into one platform. So what we did, we closely worked with Jacinta and the team, and then we were able to get this going. Now it's like we have a very clear visibility to our drivers, to our stakeholders, the passengers, our employees, our management, everyone. We have the visibility and very clear. I'm not going to explain what is there in the Gopher system, because you all have already seen and you all are aware what is there. But for us at Brandix, this is the product that we are looking at. And with that, I think we should be able to get the transport alignment very clear, and we will be able to do a lot of savings in terms of transport fleet management. Then the last one is the one before last is the H2O, Home to Office mobile application. This allowed our employees to monitor their own vehicle. I won't say everybody is using this, but most of the executives and some of the staff members and some of the machine operators, they use this very well, because that gives them, some few minutes in the morning savings, right? Then the other important one is the DSI, Driver Safety Index, or the driver behavior. We monitor drivers' behavior, and teams, what you need to understand, during the very initial stages, this was so challenging. Drivers, they refused to use this particular rating. What we did was, we actually allowed them to, we rewarded them with, small awards at the plant level. These guys, they know. So with that, we convinced them to use this facility. This is basically 4 aspects that we are monitoring. So with the GPS installation, we are monitoring that one, and we rate the drivers, and now we run on average 2 million kilometers, 2 million kilometers a month. There were times that these 2 million kilometers, we have had something like 10 to 15 accidents. But I'm very happy to say there are, as of now, mainly because of this and few other work that we are carrying out, we have some months 2 million kilometers, 0 accidents, touch wood. So team, there is a progress in digitalization, there is a lot of improvements in digitalization. But one thing that what you need to understand is it's very tough because there are a lot of challenges. One of the biggest challenges we have ever come across was, finding the right partner, like, you are getting married. If you don't get to a right guy or a lady, it's never going to be a good marriage. So, thank you KLOUDIP, getting married to Brandix and being with us for so many years. Right, then the resistance was so much that we had to sometimes put the foot on the pedal, keep it there until everything settles down. So there was a tough cases. I mean, there were a lot of cases. Our guys know. I mean, probably you also know that changing or the resistance to change is so much. People are so resistant to change, and therefore implementation is very difficult. But if you put the foot on the pedal and just leave it, everything will settle. So that is one of the mantras that I can say that we success in Brandix because of that. Then the last one is the culture. Now, we have created within us, within our stakeholders, within the company, a culture that we need to develop these digital platforms. And we are going to give them a clear visibility. So therefore, even the drivers, even the passengers, everyone, they were happy to embrace this. It was not that easy, but slowly but surely, they got used to it. So with that note, I'm going to conclude my case study. Thank you very much for team. Thank you very much KLOUDIP. Thank you very much for everyone. If you have any further clarifications, we will meet at the back end. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lianage. Oh, it's not working again, is it? Okay. Thank you, Mr. Lianage, for your valuable insights. The next company to present is a household name in Sri Lanka. Please give a round of applause to Ms. Durdans Hospitals of Abans Group of Companies.
Very end. Then, no.
Thanks.
Pediatric, then Vitali, then Escort, then Frozen Escort. So all these categories are.
Sorry.
And
Nope.
it's in detail again. It's all one by one, so it's.
So sorry about that. Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much to Yasinta and Sanjeeva for this opportunity to speak today. My name is Durdans Hospitals. I'm the digital lead for Abans Group of Companies, one of Sri Lanka's conglomerates in the areas of retail, services, real estate, engineering, and logistics. We've been in operation in Sri Lanka for over 55 years, and for over 11 years, KLOUDIP has been an integral part of our fleet management operations. So the last time I spoke to you was January 2020, and I don't think any of us had any idea what was to hit us in March of that year. COVID-19 really came in and transformed the world, Sri Lanka, and our businesses to have to deal with so much uncertainty and unprecedented challenges. So it's been very reassuring to have such an innovative and supportive local partner, such as KLOUDIP, to help us weather through these storms. So in general, at Abans, we have over 200 vehicles monitored across the group, with about 50% which are fitted with GPS trackers and fuel sensors. Now, prior to the pandemic, our main fleet was delivering to about 5 warehouse points and over 300 showroom points. But within the span of just 2 weeks, we actually had to transform the entire delivery operations to become essentially a doorstep delivery service to all our customers across Sri Lanka. So you can imagine how difficult this was. And I just wanted to show you, though this is simple, the browser level access provided through KLOUDIP's FiOS and the mobile level access through secure login on registered mobiles really helped us quickly pivot the business to being able to have our staff working from home and directing deliveries and drivers out of their living rooms. I don't think that if we didn't have, I don't think if we didn't have this level of access, we wouldn't have been able to efficiently keep the business going while keeping a close eye on fuel usage during this time, which was very scarce. Now, all of you know that was not the end of the story for Sri Lanka. We're now in the middle of an economic crisis, as all of you may know from the news. And so we've been under a lot of pressure to drive down our costs in the face of rapidly increasing prices of fuel, spare parts, and vehicle maintenance. And so in response, we've started using KLOUDIP's HEED module. And I just wanted to show you, this is the main HEED dashboard. What it allows us to do is have a bird's eye view of the repair and maintenance status of all our vehicles, which allows us to easily allocate vehicles daily. And it also allows us to have a close eye on total monthly service expenditure. HEED also gives us the opportunity to set up reminders and alerts so that we can undertake preventative maintenance and servicing to avoid costly repairs down the line. You might be able to see this section in the far top right over there. The HEED also gives us vehicle unit-wise costs, which allow us to make timely management decisions on costly repairs as well as final vehicle disposals. So, on a further positive note, I'd just like to mention that actually one of the biggest benefits that have come out from this pandemic experience has actually been the push it has given all our staff, especially the warehouse and transport teams, to become more comfortable with the use of smartphones, tablets, and digital technologies such as KLOUDIP. It has been really encouraging to see drivers of all ages and all levels of tech savviness become very particular about accessing their data on their daily performance, as well as helping us to enable real-time reporting for our customers through their location-based pings. In fact, this drive has actually allowed us to encourage this team of staff team to adopt even more digitalization initiatives, which has been a win for Abans overall. So this year, we have some big plans. We're planning to use KLOUDIP's ePort module to further drive down costs of fuel and transport across the group. And we're really looking forward to reporting on our results in future conferences. So thank you very much to Sanjeeva, Yasinta, Fayaz, Apsara, Dilhani, and the rest of the KLOUDIP support team. And thank you very much to our Abans teams who have made this all very achievable. So thank you very much. I'd also like to thank all the presenters here today who have been inspiring us and who will continue to inspire us on the topic of telematics. I hope that we can continue to use all of this to build a better and brighter future for Sri Lanka. So thank you everyone and have a good evening.
Thank you. Okay, here we go. Oh, I know how it works. So, by the way, Justine was the first of our partners to participate in the interview for KLOUDIP, where she told her success story, the success story of Abans with telematics and IoT. So, if you think that you have something to tell, like let us know, let me or Sanjeev or Jacinta, anyone know, and we'll have the interview with you, and you'll become a star. To watch what happened with Justine, find the video on YouTube, on Facebook, or on cloudip.com or .lk. And now we proceed to the next presentation. I will present the 3PL company that geared from its core to implement this new technology. Logicare is well aware of what's going on, and they're preparing for it now, for the years to come. Now I want you to welcome, Ms. Gayatri Karunanayake on stage, representing Logicare and telling their success story with telematics and IoT solutions. Please make it loud for her, because this is the last client presentation today.
Thank you so much, and it's my great pleasure to be here tonight to give us testimony for KLOUDIP. Logicare is a third-party logistics service provider providing warehousing, transportation, consultancy, and last-mile solutions. Our company is having a large distribution network with 250 plus dedicated trucks, a fleet servicing many customers across the country. We have been clients of KLOUDIP for over 2 years, and I have been collaborating with them for past 10 years on digital transformation projects. They deliver what they say deliver. We are at Logicare professionally working on what we need to develop to give a better customer experience for our clients and our business partners through a digitally enabled environment. We know the information is very vital, and also it needs to flow like water. My team doesn't want to worry about the daily operational activities, daily let it be a route planning or optimization, what is happening on the road, what is your truck, where is your truck doing right now, and whether the truck has been met the SLA, because information is in our fingertips, and also that is being flowed to our customers as well on time. The features of fuels and its distribution application have boosted Logicare productivity in our transport management platform. It has many unique features which help our business in big way. If I am to mention fuel, I'll take one unique features that they had in fuels, and I'm pretty sure that they have developed that one in a other way in ePort, and I'm waiting to experience it. It has a feature like automatically identify instances of potential delays in real time, and also it intelligently club drop-offs and returns on a single tour and get higher drop density, better route efficiency, and increased productivity. We don't want to worry about the business issues, operational issues, when you have a better geo-optimized IT platform. You don't want to waste or overutilize your resources in-house, because system will take care of it. We are looking forward to improve our operation efficiencies in Logicare operation efficiencies by taking support through telematic tools further. The product ePort, as you all saw, will take us to the next level of transport management experience, and I'm sure that our customers will delight it. Sanjeeva and his associates are very smart, up to date on the technology. They are pushing and advocating for the right solution for the business and latest technology that business likes us. We are so glad that strong relationship that we have with iCloud, KLOUDIP, and their approach on the businesses. And you should strongly consider getting them on board to support your business. And my special thanks goes to again Sanjeeva, Fayaz, and Yasintha and team for supporting us. And also we are hoping to get the e-port and, use it freshly and also with the efficiencies that we are looking at. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Gayatri. You see, everybody loves ePort and everybody plans to implement ePort, so you also think about it. So, you may be thinking that Alex was the only one who made thousands of kilometers to get to this conference, but it's not. Now we're having our partner from Kazakhstan, all the way from Kazakhstan, and I hope they're ready. And they're not only the top-notch IoT sensor manufacturers, but also the users of fully branded Hazer IoT platform in their most outstanding projects. So please welcome with a round of applause Tesla IoT from Kazakhstan, the IoT hardware manufacturer. Let's welcome them on stage, please. Okay, okay, we have 3 minutes before our partner from Kazakhstan is installing a mic in itself, I hope. So do you like the conference anyway? Yeah. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much. At least 5 people like the conference. And that's why we're here. That's why we're doing it, because even 5 people who are really, really interested in something and enthusiastic, they may change the world. The same happened with KLOUDIP, when only one person believed in something that like telematics may be popular in Sri Lanka. And now he has connected the biggest companies here, 500 companies for only 10 years.
Okay,
wow.
okay.
That's a great result, I would say, and that's KLOUDIP, by the way, and we're all a part of it. Are you okay?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, because that's the only fact about KLOUDIP that I knew. Thank you very much. Let's again welcome Tesla IoT on stage.
Dear colleagues, good evening. Thank you for this opportunity, Sinta and Sanjeeva. I hope that you are doing well today. My name is Vitaly. I'm head of expert company Tesla Smart. This year we are glad to be a part of this community KLOUDIP. Tesla Smart produces multifunctionally wireless sensor that measure temperature, humidity, magnetic field level, all these one small devices sized like a clicker, this clicker. Tesla Smart team has been working in the IoT market for 14 years. We know everything about problems connected to the wireless sensor. The market is full of them. We know everything about this problem. They are wireless sensor reliable, though at risk of external interference. But wireless sensing take the best solution from standard wired, but are also waterproof. Tesla Smart, which now develops only wireless solution uses BLE technology to transfer data to from sensor to navigation device or mobile application, and then monitoring system like a Hazer. They can measure several parameters at the same time and send data online. Today we are pleased to present to you a new line of Tesla-owned BLS sensor. Here are 5 models. First, it's Tesla 1. Is one of the most affordable BLE temperature sensor on the market. More is this also a humidity sensor and the build read switch relay if necessary. We perform the function of the refrigerator do status sensor. The first proof battery can work for up to 1 year before the battery is replaced. Second, it's Tesla Start. Tesla Start has one external DAS temperature sensor. Let me point out you that the operation temperature of any DAS is from minus 55 to 100 to plus 125 degrees Celsius. So this sensor can work if necessary in extreme environment. For example, deep freezing below minus 30 or a building environment about plus 100 degrees Celsius. And our Start will help make its solution wireless. The battery has one AA size and a special chemistry, lithium telluride chloride, which allows you to install the sensor in an extreme environment. Third is Tesla Top. Has an external budget, so with a sensitive Swiss sensor, Semiron SHT30, which has temperature measurement accuracy of plus minus 0.2 degrees Celsius. The second feature on this model is the presence of 2 slots for AA sized battery with a total capacity of 5,400 milliamperes. This BLS sensor model is one of the longest lasting of the market. Fourth, it's Tesla Quad. It's just a compact BLE tech with a reed switch relay or with an accelerometer, capable of transmitting not only the MAC address, but also a short sensor identifier in the iBeacon protocol to identify the distance to a specific track, what can be used to identify the driver, passenger, trailers and semi-trailers and cargo in them, as well as trailer mechanism in agriculture. And the ability to broadcast the processor temperature makes this BLS sensor one of the most affordable on the market. 5, it's our most powerful BLE devices. It's called Tesla Pro. As the whole updated line of the BLS Sensor Pro has a built-in reed switch to determine the status of the refrigerator door, but Pro was invented to perform more complex tasks. It's not standard project. For example, I give you three examples. Firstly, it has an external ventilated and translucent sleeve in which very sensitive sensors are located: temperature, humidity, brightness. Secondly, also in Pro, also in the Start model, there are classic one-wire interface in the DAS protocol with up to 6 temperature sensors. Example, with such a set of sensors, you can control, example, a greenhouse. The temperature of air and soil, humidity and brightness up to 7 measure points. Third example, Pro has 5 digital inputs at once. They are discrete by default. Also, 2 inputs can measure voltage. For example, it will later be possible to connect air pressure sensor, gas pressure, liquid pressure. We accept Pro to become an extremely universal BOS sensor that can be used, for example, in the combined harvest bunker. What will be measured? Percent of grain in the bunker on the lower mark and the sensor brightness. Grain filling level by special reed switch with an accuracy of every 20% out of 100. Moisture of grain and temperature of the environment on a sensitive SHT30 sensor in an extreme slave. There were our 5 best model of wireless sensor. Our joint innovation solution with KLOUDIP for comprehensive monitoring of temperature, humidity, door closing, and cooling showcase and freezer, our shops and the supermarkets, warehouse with temperature condition, as well as refrigerator tracks and refrigerator containers. Here we are going to speak about real-life cases. We have 3 real-life cases in the project from Russia, and it's first example, first case. It's a company called Utkanos. It's one of the largest Russian online food hypermarkets in Moscow and the Moscow region. About 400 refrigerated Ford Transits were equipped with a test load sensor. The main task is temperature control. The test load sensor have been dealing with this task for 3 years already. Second example, it's a company Google Truck. It's one of the largest Russian and international trucking companies with a fleet of fridge trucks that are used to deliver food and pharmaceutical to large retail chains. One of their biggest challenges is monitoring the condition outdoor on a fleet of 500 semi-trailers. 2 test load sensors used to be installed there. The first on the front of trailer, the second on the back door. So we got the temperature at the 2 points at the same time at once, and also solved the problem with the controlling open door closing on the doors. Third case is company Greenfield. It's a distributor of exotic fruits and vegetables, which are supplied to almost all Russian retail chains. When shipping exotic fruits and vegetables, it is especially important to ensure the control of critical parameters. The parameters are humidity and temperature. We also use the test load sensors. As you can see from the example,
Tanks in the filling stations. So we have a company that
118 countries exact up to the date, major markets being Asia Pacific, Africa, Latin America, the Middle East, and Europe. We feature full-scale production line, from idea to concept, from concept to research and development, to mass production, testing. We handle it all. From the scratch, we make sensors. I think the only thing that we don't manufacture is aluminum tubes, because obviously there's no reason you have to have a special facility. But the rest, we make it just from the scratch. The company is debt-free, so we owe nobody nothing. Annual revenue is 30% annual growth for the last 5 years. And interesting key point that we spend 25% of our profit on research and development. Oh, that happened. We are small. It's only 150 employees strong, give or take. The percentage of our production items are 60% fuel sensors. This is what pays my mortgage, mostly. 20% is additional sensors, so we call them. That includes angle, temperature, humidity, proximity, ID tags, all that kind of stuff. 15% of income comes from meteorological projects. Another type of the projects we're into is gas analyzers and weather stations. And 5% is supporting software. We have office in India. That's where I came from, this overnight flight from Delhi. And we also recently opened office in UAE. So those offices are active and present, branch offices. Additionally, we are opening an office in Mexico to have a representation in Latin America. Throughout the rest of the world, we work through vast distribution channel. We have distributors in Europe, we have distributors in Africa, and in Asia-Pacific regions, places like Malaysia and Singapore. As I mentioned before, so we are mostly into the transport telematics, yeah? Briefly about a few of our products. So one of the novelty and one of the cool products that we manufacture is a capacitive wireless fuel level sensor. Some of you know about this, some of you don't. So for those who don't, let me just give a brief introduction of what that is. Wireless or wired capacitive fuel level sensor has no mechanical moving parts. It actually has two electrodes, essentially forming a capacitor. So it measures the level of the fuel with 99% accuracy that ensures the highest precision for your, for your fuel needs. Basically, you count your money, which you convert it into diesel, and you put in your tank. With this kind of a solution, especially being wireless, you avoid any possibility of the driver vandalism. This is much faster installation and communication to most professional GPS trackers, such as Teltonika, for example. We never went away from the wire. The wire is there, one of the most versatile sensors. For the fuel, it has all possible interfaces. Additionally, it has tilt level sensor for the added use case for the water, which the government is not providing, so you have to buy. This is one of the sensors which could be used for that kind of a solution. As a matter of fact, it's being used in some countries. In Middle East, I heard that water is more expensive than diesel or petrol. So you can also measure clear water level sensor, use a water level sensor for the water. Temperature humidity sensor. Regardless of what you transport, that could be ice cream, that could be vaccines, but you want that products to stay fresh. Additionally, this sensor has Bluetooth 5.0 to shoot through the closed refrigerator doors that cause essentially a Faraday cage effect. Also, it has the door opening detection, which gives you information who was opening the door of your refrigerator truck in the middle of the night, you know. Axle for free download for iPhone, Android, and even Huawei phones, which I have. Why is that important? When you want to install certain kind of a hardware, you have to configure, you have to calibrate this kind of a hardware. And we provide the systems integrator or telematic service provider, or it doesn't matter, installer itself, but open up the laptop or provide this laptop to this person. This is inconvenient, it's expensive, and it's also risky, because I personally saw the guy sitting on the crane boom having the laptop on his lap and just doing configuration. It's not good. So it's why it's important, because your technicians can just download the app to their phones, and it's free, and they can use it to configure everything from A to Z, from the point A until you open up the sensor box, until the point Z where you just let the vehicle go when it's done. So that all could be done using our app. So let's put this into life. Let's put all this equipment into life. Just a brief use case. I decided to choose fuel theft prevention in mining industry. I'm not sure how it is relevant. We have many use cases, logistics, we have some use cases that come even installation for the trains, for the locomotive, for the boats. But this is one of the cases where I have actual digits from the integrator, what was done. So the mining facility is located in Kazakhstan. It is engaged into the extraction of non-ferrous and precious material, gold mine, basically. But one gold they forgot about was fuel. That particular mine has 580 heavy vehicles. So we will get into this a bit later. And integrator was supposed to install the POC for 25 vehicles. They chose wired fuel level sensor, which is called Escort TD150. Why they chose wired for the mine? Because they were afraid that there would be a lot of interference from anywhere, from the beacons, from the mine itself. They chose Azimuth GPS trackers that are a small manufacturer out of Russia, and Galileo Sky. Some of you guys may know. Additionally, interesting point that those GPS trackers are Wi-Fi. So because of the underground mine, there's no GPS, no GSM coverage, so they chose to use Wi-Fi to actually deploy Wi-Fi network across the mine. Heavy machinery. Those are the pictures actually from the mine, so you could understand that you have to use different kind of a heavy machinery for this, for the mining operation. The crawler excavators, dump trucks, explosive charging machines, excavators. These huge trucks which have these tires which are taller than me, like this. And most of these vehicles, they have very big fuel tanks, 2 tons easily. 2.5 tons. And to fill those fuel tanks, you have to buy this diesel, you have to bring it to the mine, you have to put it in a tank. So what is happening? Fuel is being stolen. Just a few things. It's not the newest case, right? So you can see it's May 2018, but human nature doesn't change, even since that time. When they did POC for 25 vehicles, and it's various vehicles, including excavators, the scroller vehicles, whatever, dump trucks, they didn't tell anybody, that not everybody, but the drivers, that the system is in place, 25 vehicles. So they detected for the October 2017, the discrepancy between documented and real fuel consumption. So what that is, it's actually paperwork fraud. If I'm an accountant for the company, so I give you money, or I get the money from the accountant, right? But I don't spend it on fuel. I actually just report that the fuel was filled. So in October 2017, this discrepancy between documented and real fuel consumption was 10.54%. In money, if I'm not mistaken, it accounted for 37,000 USD at that time. This is just 1 month, 25 vehicles. By the May of 2018, half a year later, this value went down to 1.95%, which you can easily count to the natural discrepancies based on the accuracy of the sensor itself and accuracy of the dispensing units and some loss during the transportation, for example. Oh wow. Okay. Average fuel. Okay, fuel siphoned from the tank. Now, that before I was talking about paperwork fraud, so it's not an actual theft the way we see it. The fuel siphoned from the tanks, and it says siphoned, but in fact it's double filling, it's underfilling, it's I fill up the vehicle, then I just go dump the fuel, I come back again and refuel, or maybe I just really put just the hose in the tank and I to take the fuel out. So for 25 vehicles, the stolen fuel amounted for 28,000 liters. Just 1 month, 28,000 liters. If I'm not mistaken, by that money conversion rate, it used to be 15,000 US dollars. Fuel sensor will eliminate the possibility of the fuel theft. When we cannot really control what's going on in the paperwork, but at least we can count what is in the fuel tank using the fuel sensor. So by May 2019, obviously using some disciplinary methods, this fuel siphon from the tank went to 0. Okay, so now you guys know what's happening next. Okay, so yeah, in the mining sector or construction sector, they use average liters per engine hour. So you can see that the average consumption per mining operation went from 68.29 to 46.67, almost by 1/3. So with that being said, I would like to thank KLOUDIP for invitation for organizing such an exceptional event for all of us. I was literally astonished by by this place. It's such a beautiful place. And I would like to thank you for your professionalism, for your attention. With that, thank you so much, and you guys have a great evening.
Thank you, team. That was really great.
Thank you.
Okay, this is my friend Mita Nastasha, the head of marketing in one of the largest global telematics companies. So she's watching, and she really likes it, and she is jealous that she's not here. That's it. And I should say that we are that close to dinner and cocktails, but we have something even better
1, 2, 3.
at that time. So these are Telematics Trailblazers Awards. And for the first award, I would like to welcome Mr. Sanjeeva Kurel on stage. And what will be the company? You see, let's see who topped the nomination for the most number of telematics connected devices. Actually, this company has been with us for 13 years. Can you imagine that? And this company contributed much to what KLOUDIP is today. So this company is MAS Group, and they get the award for the biggest number of telematics connected devices in Sri Lanka. Let's give a round of applause. And can you ask for the representative of MAS Group to join us on stage and get this award personally from
I would like to call Jacinta to stage. We are always amazed how such a large organization implements so many solutions so fast and successfully. This company is one of the first to fully implement Gopher and reach over 50,000 passenger requests as of today. Award for most number of successfully implemented telematics solutions in manufacturing sector goes to Brandix Apparel Limited.
I would like to thank my team, Brandix Transfer team. This is for you. And thank you, KLOUDIP team also.
Thank you.
Okay, so, and in Sri Lanka, I've been living here for like 2 years already. Yes, and there are so many healthcare institutions, but I can name smart only a few. So one of them is the next company. They use telematics for everything. They connect their fleets, they connect their nurses, they connect their vehicles that are transporting lab test samples across the island. And they also use Hazer to control the temperature of transported pharmaceuticals. And all this is done by one company, actually. And the company is Durdans Hospitals, PLC. So, and we welcome the representatives of this company on stage to get the award for the most number of successfully implemented telematics solutions in the healthcare sector. So if we have someone from Durdans Hospitals here, please join us on stage.
Yes, I think we have had great achievements with KLOUDIP. At the start, there were a lot of challenges. I know Yasindu and Sanjeeva knows. But I think after all that, we have come to a certain level where we have been able to achieve so many with CloudIP. Thank you.
I would like to call Lasanda Kure to stage. Not many people know her, but she's the Director of Operations who ensures all departments are well connected to provide a great service to our users. This is a multinational company who must adhere to global compliance standards. Usually, they use global solutions, but in Sri Lanka, they trusted CloudIP. Award for most comprehensive road safety telematics solution goes to Unilever Sri Lanka.
Here, please join us on stage and get your award. If you want to say a few words, just let us know. Or, yeah, proudly walk with this award. That is great. That's a man. Okay, so for the next nomination, for the next award, I would like to invite the Tesla IoT CEO on stage. Dmitry, can we have you on stage to... Yeah, okay, together. You can go together, actually. You're a company, you're a team. Yeah, they will award the next company. Yeah, can you join the girls? And so the next company, actually, you've heard a lot about the company even during this event. So we even developed special features for our software for them, and they implemented telematics across multiple sectors, everywhere from distribution to 3PL. So, and you may know that the company is Abans Group. Yeah, Abans for the most telematics solutions implemented across multiple sectors. This is Abans Group. Please, somebody from Abans Group join us. And get the... Would you like to say some words? Okay. Mike is here. Just maybe a thank you. One small thank you.
Thank you everyone. Actually, in the Abans team, this award is really for you all. We have over 7 fleets represented here today, and I hope we can just do better and better every year. Thanks everyone. Thank you.
I would like to call Tim from Escort Sensors to stage. This company has a unique operation process for vehicle telematics. They specialize inside port operations with the largest fleet in Sri Lanka. Award for nomination, most comprehensive vehicle telematics solution for the logistics sector goes to Colombo Logistics World. Logistics World to collect this award.
They'll get their award. So, here we are with the award for me. Oh my God. That's great. Yeah.
I think...
Yeah, okay, team. You can give the award to one of the girls there. Yes, they deserve it.
Yeah, then I would like to call Kirill on stage.
Okay.
For the last award of the night. This company started Art Vehicle Telematics Service in 2012 with a small team and to monitor fuel bikes, who are the largest and the leading, today are one of the largest and leading real estate companies. Well, the award for the nomination of most comprehensive vehicle telematics solution For the real estate sector goes to Homelands Holding.
So finally, we have everything like combined and mixed. And if someone Thank you very much. Whoa! Here we are. No more talks, just dinner, cocktails, networking. Please find yourself a partner, or better a business partner, or better many of them, and spend this evening better than ever. Before that, it's my initiative. I would like every one of you to come here closer to the stage and make a group photo. It's like the biggest event in Sri Lanka, and if we don't make any group photo here, then it will be like a lose. So please come to the stage, and then we'll have dinner and cocktails and everything and networking, and we'll have rest. But let's gather here for the group photo. Will you? Yeah, you can actually turn on some music for the people to stand up, because it's over, I think, yes?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, so we have dinner, cocktails, bar music, and Buffy, and the dance floor if you want to dance. I will. But now, please come to the stage, come join me, I'm here, come join me, and let's try to make this group photo work.